Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Ben the Human Plays Vagrus, the Riven Realms. We're on the south side of the world again. We're heading back to Torzeg's shelter. I have kind of a long-term plan in place to get our our realm gate up and running again, like fully functional, I should say. But for now, we gotta let the charge rebuild. And so I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna try and knock out some of these like extra missions that we picked up along the way. We've got like these bounty missions to do. The big one that I think it would be kind of fun to try out is this Fort Larius mission. So if I pull up my journal, I want to travel to Fort Larius and make contact with its inhabitants. So I'm gonna set up the crew to do that. We've got $1,700 bros to do with what we will. So based on that, let's go ahead and hire all the fighters we have. Let's swap back to Beasts of Burden. Oh, I realized I left my Beasts of Burden in the in the gate. Oops. Well, darn. Well, I guess we'll get those next time. For now, we'll just have to deal with the beasts that we have. So let's see here. Swap. There we go. We want to do mammals. We want to do... We don't need a ton, I don't think, because we're just going to be going out into the desert. And then let's get a lot of mounts. I like having outriders on our squad. They're expensive, but we have lots of money, so we should make use of that. Let's see. Lances should go here. Dowsing rod is fine. Smuggler's compartments, saddles, arcane, awnings, and where's our wheels? Oh, they're there. There. I swapped out saddles for Legionnaire tents, and then I moved the dogs off as well. Or no, I moved the dogs to miscellaneous, and then it allowed me to get lances, which make your outriders really good, which is why I like having so many outriders now. So if we make all of these guys outriders, because we don't really need the cargo space from the horses, now we have above 500 combat strength, which is absolutely awesome. All right, supplies needed. We need 6 to 8 days worth of supplies. What if we buy all of the supplies? We have 12 days worth of supplies. So based on that, I'm hoping either it takes only 6 days to get out there and we can get back, or the people like us enough to give us supplies. Because going out there with that, although we have way too many slaves with us right now also. So why don't we knock that down a bit? Yeah, like there. 17. We have like 4. No, I can't do math. We have 6 extra labor than we need. Still only 12 days of supplies, so I guess I don't take up a lot of supplies there. But let's get going and see if we can't progress that quest a little bit. So we go directly into the wasteland. Although it kind of looks like you can't go this way. Although it also kind of looks like that's the only way to go. And then through... out into the green we go. And we can do our tricky, our tricky nutrition thing. Oh, what? Was it not working before? Or is it because I had so much labor? Did I just find like a weird exploit and I didn't even realize it? Somebody else can explain to me. Wind dies down. Okay, don't scare me like that. I have I have places to be out here. Let's send our workers out. You failed. You brought back a measly carrot. Oh God. Oh, you're not that strong. Go ahead, defend equally. Makeshift barricade. Although, wait, hold on. Can I lure them away? Because I have Osculite charms. There we go. Yeah, 2 Osculite charms, that's nothing. 2 charms not to have to fight the undead. I'm okay with that. I have 10, right? Is that what the thing said? I should read more. Yeah, for maybe it's because we're like out in the wasteland though. Who knows? Maybe it only works in the desert. You'd think you would starve more in the desert though. Not sure. The good news is the chance of getting success for supplies is actually fairly high out here in the Greenland. Although it hasn't worked out for me so far. And I think we made pretty good time to get out here, honestly. So maybe running at 100% nutrition's not so bad. All right, Fort Larius. We have arrived at the Den of Villainy. The old fortress of Larius has stood at the center of these forsaken plains for centuries, manned and vigilant until its tragic fall during the Orc Wars. It has been a hollow, windswept, weather-beaten ruin ever since, though not without the occasional raiders or liberated tribes to settle inside its crumbling walls and shattered battlements. Whoever set up shop here must want to avoid attention from surrounding powers badly enough to move out to the middle of nowhere. Gain entrance to Fort Larius. As you approach the ruins of Fort Larius, you catch sight of the fortress from atop a hill. It was a fairly typical imperial castrum, now in a largely ruinous state. Several walls and all of its watchtowers are heavily damaged, and the ditch surrounding it is partly covered by piles of dirt and debris. You spot gaping holes in the roofs of the barracks and the main buildings. Yet even from afar, it is evident that there is life inside the ruins. You can see gaps patched up with makeshift palisades, hear the bleating of animals, and see smoke rising from here and there. Of course, the fort's ruins have always been a popular shelter for all kinds of outlaws in the area, but something tells you these current inhabitants are more organized than your average brigands. You'll have to go and find out if Tullus was right in his assumption. It wouldn't be wise to show up with your whole posse, so you decide to leave the Comitatus out of sight and gather a few trusted companions and enter and cover the rest of the distance on foot. Approach the gates. We will bring our best crew, which is you guys, right? Gorgoro, Krifta, Harvik, Elani, Skornar, Nadir, yes. As you get closer, you are able to make out figures moving on and behind the battlements. A slope of rubble leads up to the main gatehouse, the upper floors of which are completely collapsed. The gate arch itself is mostly intact, although no actual gate bars entry. About a dozen guards clad in crude pieces of armor loiter in front of it. As they see you approach, they grab their spears and take up a half-hearted battle stance. Halt! Who goes there? State your business. You stop a few steps away from them and show your palms. You tell them you've heard of activity here and came to check it out, wondering if whoever is here might be interested in business. The guards eyeball you suspiciously. You've heard, eh? Thought we'd just let any riffraff strolling in from the wasteland pass these gates here? You respond by asking to see their leader. I don't think so. Now get lost before we make you. Try to persuade them, try to frighten them. We're more intimidating, apparently, than we are frightening. So, we could pay them one changer, the cheapest of thing. Let's scare the crap out of them. You point out how easily you could kill them all. Maybe that would prove your worth to their boss. You could certainly try, one of the guards says. He's trying to act tough, but you can see it's only a facade. You'd stand no chance against the whole fort for sure, but he's clearly wagering he and his fellow guards would survive the initial assault of your companions. He decides he'd rather not find out. All right, I'll take you to Bashir. Mind you, there's no guarantee he doesn't decide to flog you and throw you back naked into the wasteland, or worse. They don't bother to strip you of your weapons, and why should they? As they said, you could never take on the whole fort by yourself. 2 guards lead you through the gatehouse and into the fort's yard. The yard, in fact, is the whole interior of the fort. It's a mess. Everywhere you look, you see litter, discarded equipment, and heaps of refuse. And by the looks of it, not only from animals. There's a mixed stench of smoke, oil, sweat, and excrement. You begin to doubt these people are as well organized as Tullus Capasius assumed. Grunts are hanging around, eating, playing dice, drinking, or sleeping on the floor. Ifriani wander around aimlessly. You hear vermin scuttering around among the bushes and in the shade of the barracks. You are led to the central square where a domed building rises over the small ones. Once presumably white, now it is charred and black with soot, its walls defaced by obscene graffiti, its roof caved in. The interior is stacked with amphora and sacks, and inside you glimpse the faint shimmering of ore. Lots of ore. A table made of stone stands in the middle. A corpulent, swarthy, bald man is full of combat gear is leaning over it, examining some kind of map or document. "Newcomers, Bashir," your escort says. "They want to speak with you." He looks up. His piercing eyes belie his flat, simple face. "Now, look what the desert brought in," he says dryly. "And who might you beauties be? You offer your services as an independent Vagrus." "And why should I hire you?" Bashir asks. "Why wouldn't you? Whatever operation you're running here seems to be in dire need for some able-handed help. Me and my companions are capable of providing that. All of us are hard workers and fast learners." Bashir gives this a thought. Oh my god. Bashir gives this a thought. "All right, as it happens, I'm a bit short on hands, so I could, in fact, use your help. Also, a whole comitatus at our disposal might come in handy. We saw your little band striking camp outside, not far from our walls. Consider yourself hired for the time being. I won't pay you anything before you prove your worth, and that might be more difficult than you can imagine. But work as efficiently as you suggest, and you can make a career with the Thirsty Maggots." What a terrible name for your band of crew. Fair enough, the Thirsty Maggots, that the name of your crew? Indeed, just a fancy nickname, but the guys seem to like it. I would imagine you have some questions. What kind of operation are you running here? Are you the leader? No, in fact, I'm not even a leader in the strictest sense, just a middleman between the grunts and the real boss, Dewcatcher. Shouldn't I be introduced as a new hire, you ask? No way, he's far too busy and important to care for low-level rabble like you. No offense. Most of the guys out here in the fort haven't even caught a glimpse of Dewcatcher, and those who have know to keep their mouths shut. While with the Thirsty Maggots, you'll deal with me and no one else. I'll be the one who gives you your orders and pay you when the time comes. Anything else? What kind of operation are you running here? What do you think? We make ends meet. Targeting Komitata and quarries in and around Hagar Tool mostly, trying to evade the lackeys of the Empire. The grunts sometimes like to think we're some kind of glorified freedom fighters, and I let them believe that if it makes them happy. But we're just plain old outlaws and robbers after all, fighting to survive and maybe make a little profit while at it. Anything else? No questions right now. Right then. There's nothing to do right now, but I'm sure you will come in handy sooner or later. Report back and we'll see if I have a task for you. And mind you, you are being tested here. Fuck anything up and they'll be worth it. Oh my god. There are worse things to lose than my trust. Now go away with you, Thirsty Maggot. Leave. It became an encampment. Ah, cool. Alright, so they got horses and fighters and whatnot. No passengers. Oh, they got a market here. No supplies to speak of. They want mushroom beer and they want wine. Do you have any equipment? You have guard animals. And that is it. And hidden compartments. Well, I have better hidden compartments as it is, so. No thanks. Well, that was interesting. Journal update. Report back to Bashir for work. So if I, go talk to him, ask for a job. Oh, okay. Eager to further the cause of the Thirsty Maggots? You nod. I might have something for you, although Krengu sent us a message to stay on our arses. Dewcatcher thought otherwise. The operation must not be shut down, not even for a short period of time. We can't afford to give the Imperials even the slightest rest. Not to mention we are in dire need of steady income and supplies. You ask him how you can help the cause. There are several ways. All of them are high priority, of course, yet none of them are more important than the others, so complete them in whatever order suits you. First, we cannot cease attacking Komitatai. The smaller ones traveling between the Crimson Gate and Torzeg Shelter are taking different shadow paths now, but our spies have managed to locate one of those routes. He produces a map. Then there are the quarries to be raided. We do not have the means to plunder the real large ones like Arcturus or the other ones in the west, yet there are smaller ones in the vicinity of Torzeg Shelter, also less protected. We have one specific one in mind right now, called Necopine Quarry. He points it out on the map to you, and then continues. The third task is of a more diffuse nature. We are running low on everyday supplies, so we need to stock up. I believe with your Comitatus you are a prime candidate for completing these missions. Up for it? We tell him that we are. Splendid. Go now, do your work, then return back to me. If you are successful, you shall be rewarded. You turn to leave, but then he calls after you. And don't do something stupid, like getting killed by marauders or bloody wander into the Hollow Crags, eh? You nod and exit the building. Uh-huh. So we have to raid a Comitatus on the western tip of the Wind Belt and deliver its cargo of 10 iron to Bashir. Then we pillaged Necopine Quarry and delivered the 10 obsidian to him. And then we take 500 supplies, 8 salt, 10 grain, and 12 linen to them. And we cannot turn them in separately. We have to do that all at once. Interesting. Are these all on the map, I wonder? They are indeed. And there's the quarry, I assume? Yeah, cool! Alright, we have to get in with the rebels. So, what do we start with? We have 7 days. I almost wonder if it would be a good idea to go to the crossroads straight from here. Or honestly, it probably makes more sense to go back to Torzeg Shelter, hit the crossroads, and then come back. Just because, like, going here and then we'll have to circle around anyway. Maybe that is a good idea. I'm kind of two minds about it. I think actually we should go directly back to Torzeg's. Oh, we should just rest here. Go ahead and rest. Sleep on the ground. Yeah. Just because I think we're gonna have to get more supplies anyway. We only have 6 days left. And so I think we'd be kind of cutting it close if we tried to go all the way up. There we go. A little success. 27 supplies isn't great, but it's better than nothing. The tricky thing is trying to make your way through this weird chunk. Like here's no problem. You can just cut straight across the land, but worming your way through the crags is a different story entirely. Oh, you know what? I should have stopped right here and then scavenged for resources, because it's the same distance either way. That's okay, though. It looks kind of like the best way to worm your way through is up this way. Oh, I should have followed the path that we took to get back, honestly. I always forget that it highlights where you've been before. For future. Alright, let's send our guys out, try to get some more supplies. Success again, good job team. And we are out of supplies. So I'm glad we headed back to Torzeg Shelter first. Approach the guards, nothing to hide. Use our associates. Oh! I should be using our trade house thing. The associates actually lowers your rep with whoever is helping you in. I think it was the Loaders Guild, which we're like really good friends with anyway, but I would love to get to level 5 with them. Okay, so let's buy all the supplies, max it out. I want to get another Beast of Burden, just because, like, we're gonna be raiding people. I think it would benefit us to have extra cargo capacity to take whatever they have to drop. Now, I think I should get a few more scouts. That was something that people pointed out, is like the more scouts you have on hand, oh, crowded camps. Just because we have a shit ton of people on our crew. Okay, we fire you immediately. So this is as big as we could get. 26 plus 6 plus 16. That's okay though, I think that's fine. We have 10 days worth of supplies. We do need to rest in the Manzio. Alright. Exchange. Get the last of the supplies that are available here. And then let's head out. Now I'm kind of hoping that I can go over here, take care of Necopine Quarry, cut across Orkscar to the crossroads, and try and find this reptilian Krawog on the way. That's been, you know, an open quest for quite a long time. So I'm hoping maybe we can find that guy. I think we're getting close. It's closer to the crossroads, so maybe like get to here and then do some scouting. Yeah, like right here. Scout. Oh, we don't want to use our forced march, so maybe we should just rest here and try and get some supplies, perhaps. Didn't work. All right, now scout. Auto scouting allows them to scout ahead without spending movement points. Huh. Compared to manual scouting, which also means you may lose scouts more frequently. Okay, well, interesting. Maybe we'll look into doing that more. Aha! Okay, we found them. Is that better than just wandering around? Perhaps. Excuse me? Was that not the thing? Now I'm lost. Now I'm really confused. Did I do it wrong? That's where we are. Discoveries. Huh. Oh, is it over here maybe? The scouting didn't really help us then. No. Okay, well now I'm totally lost. I'm gonna be right back. I'll come back when I have found the quarry. All right, I redid the scouting from a different position and I think I might have figured it out. Maybe. It does take like a full day to do scouting like that though. So let's see. There we go. Okay, I'm kind of understanding it now. I think it's most beneficial when you really have no idea where you're going. But who knows? Maybe we'll get better at it as we go. Practice makes perfect, right? You arrive at the spot in the foothills of the Black Blood Mountains that Bashir marked on your map as the location of Necopine Quarry. And sure enough, there it lies. From your current vantage point, it appears to be a crude hole in the ground surrounded by sad-looking huts. Workers and slaves toil down there, accompanied by a dozen or so overseers and guards. Bashir was right. This place is practically unprotected, ripe for the taking. Still, it might be best if you came up with a plan. To Tartarus with plans. Try to draw out the bulk of the guards and attack them with your companions. Descend stealthily to the quarry and entice the slaves to a rebellion. Ooh, I like that one. You can only use 2 people. That's scary. Can I go back? I take it back. Krifta is good at this, and maybe Ren. The slave barracks on the opposite side of the quarry, so first of all, you must make your way down there as silently as possible. You instruct your companions to make no noise. Skulker, savvy, dexterous, let's use some of our resourcefulness. We succeeded. You make it to the barracks. Stepping inside, you find a dark, dirty, and cramped interior. Bunk beds huddle along the walls, bedpans full of excrement are tossed into the corners, children dressed in rags with primitive toys in hand while their parents look up to you with expressionless faces and empty eyes. A gaunt woman of indeterminable age rises from the floor and stumbles towards you. "New master," she asks, "anything you want us to do?" Behind her, another figure rises from the litter. It's a young man, most likely in his teens, although it's hard to tell because of the smut covering his face. His voice reminds you of the carrion beasts you encounter in the wasteland. "Don't you tell a thing, tell a thing, Amara," he croaks. "Not if you don't want the masters to come back with a vengeance." Convince the slaves to revolt. We did it. The woman addressed as Amara gathers her spear, clears her throat, and then turns back to her fellow slaves. "This stranger is right," she exclaims. "How much longer should we toil down here in the dirt, working our lives away, spawning children for the very same fate? I say we rise or die, for that is no true life we would be leaving behind." To your utmost surprise, her speech is answered by an uproar. The slaves in the barracks grab whatever tools they can and stream out into the quarry. The guards and overseers are taken completely by surprise as their former workforce washes over them. Before you know it, most of Necopine Quarry is overtaken by its former slaves. Now's the time to order your fighters to attack, and so you do. Now! All the guards are eliminated, and you're free to plunder the storehouse. You've done good work for the thirsty maggots. Bashir will be pleased when you deliver the obsidian. You have to keep the obsidian and deliver them to the maggots. You make arrangements to leave when one of the guards walks up to you. One of your guards walks up to you. "What about them?" he says, pointing at the quarry's slaves. Although several of them died during the fight, the rest is quite shaken and weary, and they certainly don't look like they could oppose you. They're still quite numerous. Abandon them, let them go, but give them supplies, claim them. Those that wish to join as free people, the rest can do as they please. No, I don't need to deal with them. They're free to go. I gained rep for that. It wasn't even like my goal. It was like a means to an end. But Kreefta and Ren were like, yeah, good job. Without giving them further thought, you signal your crew to make haste. The Comitatus meanders out of the quarry. Some of the slaves make half-hearted attempts at following you. Some even beg, but these are held back by your fighters. Most of them just stand there with a blank look. No doubt the wasteland will claim most of these miserable wretches, but that is none of your concern. You've given them freedom, which is more than they could have asked for. What they do with it is their problem. You travel on. All right. Well, that was interesting. There is a Skortar camp. Huh. Very high chance of success. 1 chitin, 1 mushroom, and 5 supplies. No, that's not really worth it. Let's continue onward. Really cool that you can, the scouting like lets me see what's there. Okay, so now the plan is to go to Orkscar. How much supplies do we have? We still have 8 supplies. I think that's plenty. Yeah, we can't do the 50% here for some reason. Who knows? Yeah, I don't know why. Is it do I have all my stuff equipped? Just to check. Yeah, it looks like it. I'm not sure why I was getting away with that before. Who knows? Okay, so now we gotta find that stupid dragon. Maybe. Are we in the middle? I think the best thing to do is to get, like, this one is so big. These smaller ones, it makes sense to get into the middle and then scout around it. But this one, I almost feel like it would be better to like, post up at one side of it and then try to scout. So, rest here. Please don't attack me with, like, an orc warband or something like that. That would be devastating. Alright, scout. We can send them out to 5 distance. We should not do that because that's really far away. Go ahead and scout looking for an event. We found nothing. Okay. So onward. Scout again. Oh, we haven't camped yet. Now we camp. Scout again. Or maybe we should move one more and then scout? Maybe that's the way to do it. What if we go down here? Could it be in the Orkscar, I wonder? I'm not sure. Send scouts. We've found possibility of combat encounters, I think. Maybe. Or maybe not. Or nothing. I don't know exactly what I'm looking at when it comes to scouting. Alright, we have 4 days of supplies. We lost vigor. That's not great, but what are you gonna do? This damn dragon, I'll never find this lizard. Unless he's up here. I'm gonna try one more time. Let's boost our movement real quick. There we go. Look for the event. Did we find him? Oh, I've moved and I didn't mean to. Prepare for the hunt. According to your scouts, we are out of resourcefulness, so we should return later. That's my bad. I shouldn't have moved. Oops. And now we'll have to go out and then back. There we go. Prepare for the hunt. Autofill. Oh, you can only take 4. Oh, okay, so definitely not Garrett. Kreefta, you're in. Eilani for sure. And then, yeah, I kind of like, well, Nadir is so good. Maybe we set it up like this and we don't really care about Gorgoro bouncing back and forth. I think this is okay for a group of 4. We take 60 supplies with us. While the Comitatus makes camp, you gather your team and collect meat from your provisions to use as bait, and set out into the jagged rocky wilderness. You follow the faint beast tracks looking for your prey, hoping to avoid becoming prey yourself. Spreading out in the area to cover as much ground as possible, yet careful not to lose sight of each other, you and your companions comb the vicinity. It takes you the rest of the day, but in the end you have distributed the bait more or less evenly in quite a large area. Now you will have to wait. After finding a small hill that serves both as a vantage point and a passable hiding place, you settle in. Wait for the beast to show itself. All right, I hope this doesn't make us run out of food. because we're running low on food. Aha! The night drags on for long, tedious hours. Nothing happens. The twilight desolation is perfectly still, except for the buzzing of insects around your pieces of bait. Slowly, the shadows begin to emerge as dawn is about to break. Suddenly, you spot movement not too far away. From the shades between the mounds, a huge shape appears, moving with soundless grace despite its immense size. You squint better to make out its features, spotting 4 sinewy legs, one of which the front ones are slightly elongated, a lean body covered in dark green scales, a muscular tail, and a dragon-like head. It is a Krowog, which is something strange as these beasts tend to be domesticated. This one must have escaped or lost its master somehow. The creature approaches the bait warily, at first merely circling around it. After detecting no danger, it grows bolder, crawls closer, and takes an exploratory bite, and finally begins to gulp it down. This is your chance. Krowog's senses are exceptionally sharp. Luckily, you were hiding far enough away. The only opportunity to surprise it is while distracted by the meal. Let's try to sneak up on it. Yes, succeeded. Step by calculated step, you get closer, both your bodies and senses tense like a drawn bow. Assaulting an adult Krowog head-on would be unwise, as they're formidable foes bred for fighting. The odds would be much better if you managed to ambush and confuse it. Fortunately, the creature is fully preoccupied devouring your bait. A little more distance and you're in attack position. The time has come. Now, you whisper to your companions. The hunting party throws itself at its prey. Look at this wild thing. He's got 32 health. All right, Nadir, you get behind Gorgoro here. There we go. All right, let's see. You got armor? You got a little armor. Not too bad, though. 4 damage is great. Let's throw down these... That's not what I wanted to see. I was going to say, let's throw down these wards. Ooh, he spits acid, you bastard. Evade. Well, he evaded back onto the to the ward, so that's something. And then throw the other ward. Okay, we've got double wards going now. Just don't leave that spot. Haha, sucker. He did 6 damage to him, I believe. Unless it's just 1? The mid front is affected by conflagration. Oh, he resisted the fire effect of the other conflagration. I didn't know he could do that. He's evaded again. Go ahead and overwatch this one in case he evades back. He did not, and he died. That went pretty well, considering I couldn't find that damn dragon for how long. Oh, Ilani lost loyalty because we killed a creature. With an agonizing scream, the monstrosity collapses, a last weak fume of its breath attack escaping its throat. The hind leg kicks a few times, its tail coils up, and then it begins to move no more. Your companions quickly gut the carcass and examine its contents to make sure you killed the right beast. Human bones emerging testify to that. The Emperor's Road should be safer now that the Justiciar Maximus will no doubt be pleased to hear. Your group secures a claw and some scales as proof for the authorities. Though something strikes you as odd, we've succeeded. You think hard, trying to determine what is out of place here. You consult your companions to see if they can come up with something, and then it strikes you. You initially assumed that this Krowog escaped or lost its masters somehow, and then took to fending for itself. But upon closer examination in the half-digested contents of its stomach, you realize this can't be right. There, among human bones in your own bait, you find other pieces of meat, fresh and skinned and of good quality. It's as if someone has kept feeding this reptile. And also, why would a Krowog that's bred for hunting and used to come to the company of people attack exclusively humanoids instead of free-roaming wildlife as well? The creature must have a lair of sorts nearby. Maybe finding it you could learn more. We did. Grief to gain loyalty. The Krowog was a stealthy beast. Finding its tracks even in the close vicinity of the recent fight is hard enough, but following them is also impossible. Yet you succeed. You are able to follow the monster's trail back to from whence it came. After some time, you come across a small congregation of hills surrounded by desiccated, cracked soil. There in the shadows of the mounds, you spot a small ruined building of sorts. Judging from the architecture, it looks like a sentry hut or toll booth of the Empire, abandoned long ago. Buildings like this used to stand regular intervals of the old highways. You must be walking on the remains of some byroad, long since erased by the ravages of time. A strong animal smell emanates from it. Stepping inside, you find that it is indeed what must have been the Krowog's lair. Shed scales and chewed bones cover the ground, along with the belongings of the victims that were dragged here to be devoured. Time to look around. We succeed. Rummaging through the piles of remains, you find only junk, most of it not worth keeping, except for one thing. Under a heap of bones, you spot a small metallic token. Initially, you almost mistake it yet for another scale. It is some kind of insignia or brooch shaped like a dragon, and you instantly recognize it as a badge worn by merchants and agents of the Ratharnak Alliance. Wondering what to make of this, you decide it's time to go. It's getting dark, and you've already done what you were tasked with. No need to dawdle any longer. Your bounty awaits. Really weird. Kinda neat. Huh. I wonder if we will learn anything about that. That's really cool. All right, we're gonna pause the episode there. I think I'm going to not abandon this, but I'm gonna go back to Torzeg's shelter before attempting to do this one, just because we are down to 2 days worth of supplies. And I think we'll have to force march to get back to Torzeg's before starving anyway. So we're gonna pause the episode there. If you guys did enjoy the episode, click the like button. It helps me out a lot. If you want to see more Vagrus, the Riven Realms, or the other videos I have going on the channel, subscribe to the channel. That also helps out a lot. But until next time, everybody, I hope you have a good one, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye, everybody!